Hello beautiful people, welcome to the part 2 of my astrological forecast for next week about Cancer new moon. In this part I'm going to pull some cards. If you would like to hear about the astrology of the Cancer new moon, then check out my part 1, which was already published on my YouTube channel, so you will find it there. And as I mentioned, this is the part 2 where I'm gonna pull some cards to get some further messages and guidance with regards to the Cancer new moon, which we'll be experiencing on Wednesday, June 25th. And before I go any further, in case you didn't see my part 1, I also would like to announce that I'm currently running my 25% of all my services seasonal sale for the entire Cancer season in honor of the solstice we just experienced, and also Sun moving into the sign of Cancer, which of course is the cardinal sign and represents the beginning of the new season, also astrologically wise. So yeah, if you would like to get any guidance or mentoring or any kind of chart reading really with regards to what's going on right now, like there are a lot of changes going on astrologically. So if you need any support, then reach out. I have 25% off on all my services, so this is a good time to book. And with that, I'm going to now pull some cards for the Cancer new moon. So as usual, I'm going to start with the Queen of the Moon, because obviously Cancer is actually ruled by the moon. So this is the new moon in Cancer, ruled by the moon, the one and only. We have full moon in Cancer, of course, but new moon is the rebirth. So let's see what is the guidance for the Cancer new moon of 2025. All right. Okay, we have a card straight away. Realization, number 3. So what are you realizing? There is the keyhole. We know that Chiron was active during this moon. If you would like to have more details about that, check out my part 1. But yeah, Chiron key, the key between the Saturn, which is the manifested form, Saturn now being in the sign of Aries. There is an inconjunction between Saturn, Neptune and Mars, so we don't know where we're going, but we know we're not going where we were, because that doesn't feel very good. So yeah, the keyhole, the key, the key into getting where you want to go is you, because you need to feel it, you need to be fine-tuned, you need to the realization, who do I want to become? How do I want to feel? You don't have to know the details that, it has to look like this and it has to be with this person, blah, 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 blah. But how do I want to feel? So with this Cancer new moon, maybe there will be realization with regards to like, oh yeah, I am really not the version of myself I was a year ago during the Cancer new moon 2024, when the nodes were still in Aries and Libra. It was a different scenario over there, different planets, different planets were the same, but they were in different signs, different energy, so how much you've grown since the Cancer new moon 2024. You are a different version of yourself, and you're going to be very different version of yourself in 2026. So what is the door? What is the gate? What is the portal that you want to enter into? With Mercury still during this time of the Cancer new moon, Mercury is still in a sign of Cancer. How does it feel? How do you want to feel? And with the number 3 is the expansion. 3 is the Jupiter number. We know Jupiter is currently in the sign of Cancer until the end of June 2026, only just entered there recently on June 9th. So we'll have a year, still over a year, to expand, to grow into the version of ourselves we want to become. So yeah, so at the time you can see also everything is like it's the night sky, the moon doesn't have much light. We don't know, we don't see. There are 2 yods in the sky for this new moon in Cancer. A lot of inconjunction. We don't know. There are all these blind spots. You need to trust yourself. You need to tune in, tap in. So realization. What are you realizing? This is a waxing crescent, which is the Taurus. The foundation. We are creating the foundation of who you are becoming. What is the vision for the future? What is the vision for the future? Making the unconscious conscious, so you can be aware, so you can change things that are no longer serving you. So what are we realizing with this Cancer new moon, or what we will be realizing even more so with the Cancer full moon, which we already entered this year with Cancer full moon. We'll enter 2026 with Cancer full moon, and also we will end 2026 with Cancer moon, Cancer full moon. So we'll have 2 full moon in Cancer in 2026. So yeah, so there are a lot of changes going on with regards to the change of yourself, who you are individually, and also the collective consciousness. And at the bottom we have the release. In order to become the new version of yourself, there is a lot we have to release. And this card is a frequent flyer. It's been coming up a lot during the past lunation, and this is the number 27, which is the number 9. We're going through the process of metamorphosis. Again, there is this is a waning crescent. So isn't that interesting? We have the waxing crescent and we have the waning crescent. This is the foundation for the future. you know, the key, you know, you're looking through the keyhole, like, where am I going in my life? But there are a lot of in conjunction, you don't know, you don't see, because, you know, if you knew, you would be going where you already were. So you don't know, because you're going somewhere you haven't been before, you're becoming someone you haven't been yet. You know, you're going to play a whole new role, you know, whole new role over here. So yeah, so in order for that to take place this year, year number 9, there is a lot of release, a lot of healing, you know, a lot of metamorphosis. Yeah, so this is perfect. You know, also realizing, what do I need to release in order to become, in order to get past this doorway into my new life. Yeah, but this is a new moon. New moon is just about conception. You will not see the result yet. All right, and I'm reaching out for this deck. I am gonna pull from it after. Okay, I'm gonna pull from it right after, but I want to ask the Queen of the Sun as well, because of course Sun is still involved. You know, you have the Moon and the Sun coming together. So the Queen of the Sun, what is the guidance from the Sun with regards to this lunation? And yeah, Jupiter of course is close into the Moon, because we have the Sun-Jupiter conjunction right before the new moon. So Jupiter, the old story of who you were is ending. And if you watch my astrological forecast, the part 1, you know why. Because during the full moon in Cancer at the beginning of the year, the moon was close into Mars, which is how Pluto acts consciously. So yeah, so now we are going to be making adjustments with regards to that. What am I releasing in order to become the new version of myself, to co-create with the spirit, with each other, this new place, this new world, this new story for humanity? So what is the Sun saying about that? Okay, the guidance from the Sun with regards to the new moon in Cancer. Okay, there are 2 cards. Let's try again. Just 1 card. What is the card? Okay, still 2 cards. Yeah, still 2 cards. What can you do? It's still, you know, I mean, it's not yet, it's no more the Gemini season, but yeah, we're going to have Uranus moving into Gemini soon. We have the reflection. This card also came up before, you know, time for reflection. This is number 41, which is the number 5, the number of change. You know, a lot of people are going through this, you know, it's part of the release process. These cards are quite similar, you know, and she's in the water, deep in the emotion. This is the Jupiter in Cancer. We're going to be reflecting a lot of things, Jupiter being the traditional ruler of the North Node in Pisces, deciding what are we releasing, you know. And again, you have the orb of light coming through up there, but then moving, you know, down her, like kind of, you know, close to her chakras. Yeah, awakening us, awakening the Kundalini to become the full potential of who we are. The 41, because the 4, the foundation is changing through the chaos. And yeah, the power, the Queen of the Sun, the cover girl herself, number 12, in under number 3. In under number 3, the realization that you've always been this, the creator of your reality, right? The number 12, which is also the Hanged Man, the illumination of the crown. You can see when she has it, the illumination. And yeah, there are all these symbols and sacred geometry behind her. The Queen of the Sun, the power, stepping into your power. Yeah, it takes some time, you know, it takes awakening, you know, it takes us looking at things differently, shifting perspective, you know, the Hangman upside down. Delays, it's not going to happen tomorrow. This is a new moon, we're seeding things. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it is going to happen, because you're having the realization that if I want to become it, I have to create it. I have to create it by feeling it, by reflecting, you know. So yeah, so you have the power. You have the power to create the Sun, you know, the solar plexus, to create the new version of yourself. So you just need to decide what it is by reflecting, by feeling, you know, Jupiter in Cancer, and letting go of what it is not. You know, the year number 9, Saturn moving into Pisces for the final time in September, right on time for the eclipses. Yes, and at the bottom we also had ideas, number 9. Number 9, yeah, it's very similar, right? So we have the 9. I wonder whether we're gonna get the 6. We have the 3, we have the 9. 3, 6, 9, you know, the universe. So yeah, that's like the saying, how it goes, this something, necessity is the mother of invention or something, right? That might be part of that. You know, a lot of ideas will come. when we have no other choice, when we have to change. All right, let's go to this one then. We'll get the portal later. We get the portal as the last message. So this is the angels and ancestors, and they are like itching to speak. You know, this card, this deck, like my hand was reaching for it, like straight away, like the angels and ancestors, because of course, Cancer, our roots, our ancestors, our family, you know, our origin, the memories, you know, like all of that, you know, Cancer, also connected to Scorpio by the trine and Pisces, you know, the cycle, the oneness, we are all connected, you know, and also Pluto, you know, being the rule of the Scorpio, the DNA, you know, it all exists. The ancestry of humanity exists in everyone. It doesn't matter what color of skin you are, what religion, what culture, how old you are, it doesn't matter. The humanity, you know, the ancestry of humanity as a species exists in every single one of us. So let's see, and at the bottom straight away I have autumn. So yeah, let's see what's gonna come from the ancestors, angels and ancestors. What is the guidance for this Cancer season and this Cancer new moon, the new version of ourselves that we see in? What is the support, the words of guidance from the ancestors, those who walk the earth already before us? You know, you are the forerunner for all of them. You know, you are at the front of the line of all your ancestors, here to show up for everyone, not just for yourself too, but for everyone that came before you to make it possible for you to come. Yeah, so let's see what is the guidance from the angels and ancestors. All right, shaman and shield maiden, make plans and focus, discipline. As I said in the previous videos, and also from my own experience, the material I'm listening to, discipline. You need to be disciplined. You need to show up for yourself. You know, stay feminine, be soft, but be strong. Be soft, but be courageous. Be receptive, but, you know, be brave to show up for yourself. Shield maiden. Yeah, make plans and focus. What do you want to become? How do you want to feel? What do you want to see the world manifested as? What is your vision? And then, yeah, and then eventually you will take an action. And she's got a crescent moon, you know, interesting crescent moon again, the high priestess. Listen to your inner guidance, you know, the two moons here, crescent moons. Yeah, and then she has it on her neck, the pendant, crescent moon. So yeah, listen to your inner guidance, make plans. And it's interesting because this is like a Celtic symbol, right? And but again, it's the circle, you know, the unity. But boundaries also, I feel, with the shield, boundaries, protect what matters to you. You know, that's also with the Saturn in Aries. We are learning a new way of applying boundaries. Boundaries not to restrict, but boundaries to protect what matters to you. You know, but you can always change them. And shaman, trust in higher forces, the wisdom of the elders, the owl. Yeah, trust the guidance, make plans, be prepared to take action when the time is right, inspired action, focus, be disciplined, show up for yourself, you know, trust your inner guidance, speak your truth, protect what matters to you, you know, boundaries, and trust the higher guidance. Because yeah, there are masses of souls behind you, each and every single one of us. You know, because we are all connected. We are all connected. All the ancestors live within every single one of us. And yeah, also he's got this, you know, the stag antlers, right? The leadership. Yeah, the leader. You are your own creator. Listen to the guidance from within. Allow the wisdom, you know, of those who were here before you to guide you, to support you, your spirit guides, your ancestors, you know. But yeah, it's also about the redefinition, because the values changed. So trust in higher forces. You will be guided. And what's at the bottom? Yeah, we have all these two cards coming up. Yeah, Oracle. Wait for important information. Yeah, if you don't know, then wait. Yeah. Listen for the subtle signs. This is again about the spirit. And the snake. right? The year of the snake. Maybe you're not meant to know yet. Like I said, there are a lot of inconjunctions during this new moon in Cancer. A lot of inconjunction, and the Yod is pointing to Mars in Virgo. You have to have the experience. Perhaps, you just didn't get there yet. You're still on your way. And the Pluto, is retrograde at the moment in Aquarius, right? The two Yods pointing to Mars and Pluto. Mars is in Virgo for the next 2 months. So it will be the everyday grind, the showing up for yourself, doing the things we don't want to do, the mundane, having the human life, human experience, while this Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is expanding us from within. And Uranus soon to be moving to Gemini. So yeah, the message will come, like especially with the Uranus moving to Gemini on 7/7 portal right before the full moon in Capricorn. So this is the last lunation with Uranus in Taurus, 29 degrees, sextile in Mercury, 29 degrees, 29 minutes exact, the day after. So yeah, listen for the information from your spirit team, from your guides. All right, what else we've got here? Of course, our portals, gateway of light activation. Let's see about the portals. What portals are opening up for us with the Cancer new moon, 25th of June, 2025. Let's see. Portal of guidance from the light. All right. This one card, 2 cards. Crown chakra upgrade, divine connection, holy experiences, miraculous energy. And this is also like the peace, right? Crown chakra, yeah, that's the intuition, the Jupiter in Cancer, the intuition. This is the first lunation. No, Jupiter moved before the Sag, right? Yeah, I think Jupiter moved on the 9th, and the Sag full moon was on the 11th. Yeah. This is a first new moon, though. First new moon with Jupiter in Cancer. Yeah, Jupiter in Cancer. Yeah, I'm getting all confused now. Anyway, yeah, either way, this is the first new moon with Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter is closing to this new moon, and Jupiter in Cancer is going to help us to connect with our intuition and heal, and Jupiter being the core ruler of the North Node in Pisces, which is all about oneness and wholeness, the crown chakra activation. So let's see about that. We're gonna read about that one. And at the bottom we got the Akashic Stargate again. Yeah, the Akashic records are coming up a lot. Aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. Yeah, this is the choosing of the future version of yourself. You cannot choose, wrong, but you cannot choose what was. Like you cannot go back to be who you were. We are all expanding, especially Jupiter in Cancer. We are all evolving and expanding. There is no going back. So yeah, being aligned with your purpose, which is about the attunement and, listening for the signs. Yeah, let's see about this crown chakra upgrade. I haven't seen that card before with the dove. Crown chakra. Okay, here we go. So that's this one. Crown chakra upgrade, divine connection, holy experiences, miraculous energy. Your message, your crown chakra has been upgraded. The spiritual connections you have always had are now being acknowledged. The parts of yourself that you have run from or ignored are being reclaimed. This is an important time for you are uncovering gifts and wisdom and moving through healing. You may have experienced moments that have tested your faith and your belief in the divine. Know that it is okay and no grievance is being held against you. The Holy Spirit is with you and within you. This is a coming home to your truest self. You are also being encouraged to prepare yourself for miracles. Expect to experience wonder and blessings, for you are being surrounded by healing light. Divine encounters and holy experiences are happening around you. If you had a challenging relationship with spirituality or religion in the past, this has now been healed and you can move forward in the authentic way, experiencing the divine on a personal level and beyond the limitations of unnecessary dogma. You are connected. Yeah, because you are the creator. You don't need a middleman, and this is the Mercury in Cancer, the program, the guidance, the messages coming from within. Okay, let's see about this Akashic Stargate. Just a brief message. The Akashic Stargate. This one. Whenever the Akashic Stargate is presented to you, it's because you are at the critical point of your journey. You have the opportunity to move in a particular direction and you have to make a decision. This can feel overwhelming and you may be waiting for someone or something to make the decision for you. But you aren't here to walk a path that was set for you. You're here to walk a path that you have chosen. The next phase of your journey cannot unfold until you decide which way to go. Know that whatever direction you take and whatever decision you'll make, you'll always be on the right path. No matter how you get there, you always end up in a similar place. Also know that purpose isn't about doing your duty, it's about living life and experiencing joy. Yeah, this is the Mars in Virgo, the everyday. Right, so whatever we're choosing, whatever we're seeding with this new moon in Cancer. But we know for sure we're going to become more intuitive, especially Jupiter in Cancer. It's going to take care of it for sure. So, okay, final message from the Major Arcana to close this reading. Major Arcana, what is the final guidance for the Cancer new moon? The Tower, okay. Our crown chakra is being blown up. We know that it's being upgraded. This is also about the old version of yourself, because it is the reset point. Cancer is all about your identity. So yeah, so there are a lot of situations, that doesn't have to be like crazy, but maybe a lot of Tower moment when we get in realizations of who we are not. Venus goes into Uranus. Like, this doesn't hold a value to me anymore. It could be a jarring moment. This is what I'm going through with my Pluto square, actually happening on Monday, right before the new moon. Second Pluto square out of 5. And coming into Neptune square soon too. So this is exactly what I'm experiencing in my own life. Everything that I knew and everything I was, everything is losing meaning. Everything lost meaning. So it's like, can be a very jarring moment, and it's not like something particular happened or anything, but it's that realization that, oh my God, I am not who I was, and I don't know who I'm becoming, and I don't even know how to get anywhere from here. It's like you lost like a signal, right? Like a GPS, you're being recalibrated. So that is a Tower moment in itself. Our needs, our values are changing, what we want from relationships, what we want from life, how we want to experience life. So there are a lot of Tower moments going on because we are awakening, the number 12, yeah. We are awakening into realization who we really are, our true power. And that is, awakening is hardly ever easy process. It is like this. Awakening is like that. It's like jarring. It's like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Yeah, why? Because of the World card. Yeah, we had the 21 number in many on the chart of this new moon in Cancer. There was the 21 coming through strongly, very strongly, and this is the graduation. Because you graduated from who you were. We graduated from Pisces age. Us as a humanity graduated from this way of experiencing reality. It's finished. Saturn is going back to Pisces for one more go, September till February next year. But after that, that's it. It's going to be in Aries, and then obviously it's going to go through the whole zodiac, so it won't get to Pisces until 28 years from now or so. So yeah, 21, which is again the number 3. It's ended, so something new can be created, right? The ends always create new beginnings, always. The endings always makes a way to a new beginning, That's why everything is always cyclical. So yeah, we've graduated. That's why these things are happening. We are being awakened. Our life is being disrupted. Uranus on 29 degrees of Taurus, just about to move into Gemini. A lot of disruptions. Because you're not who you were. And what's underneath that? Yeah, the High Priestess, the Moon, exactly. You need to learn to listen to yourself, to your inner guidance. The partnership with the spirit, the choice. And again, the conscious and unconscious. That's perfect. Yeah, 3 cards. I'll leave it with that. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it with that. So I think that's pretty profound what's going on here with this new moon in Cancer. Yeah, with the Jupiter being conjunct. And also the Saturn-Neptune square to it, exact almost. And everything else that's going on there in the sky, Mercury-Pluto opposition and all the rest of it. So, yeah, this is a very powerful new moon, very busy. There are a lot of aspects going on, and it's creating a lot of energy, a lot of pressure. But there is also that kite in the sky with the Uranus in opposition with Lilith. So it is being divinely orchestrated. It is being supported. It is time. It is time to heal this shadow, to heal this old mess. To came out of the muck, to create something new. Because we've graduated. The old's ended. That's it. You don't have to like it. It is what it is. So yeah. So it is an exciting time to be alive, but let's not kid ourselves. It is not an easy time. So yeah. So this is, I think, where many people are having that realization. Having that realization that okay, this is where we at. So okay, so with that, guys, I'm gonna close. So I would like to thank my higher self, my spirit guides, my angelic team, starseed family, also our ancestors, Akashic record creative keepers, astrological team, and all the beings of light that were present, also all the creators of the decks and all the messages that came from the decks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. And once again, if you would like to book a reading with me for the entire Cancer season, all my services are on offer for 25% off. So you can definitely do that, and you can find all the further information on my website. Also my calendar is there with all the availability. And yeah, and once again, I wish everybody a wonderful Cancer season, wonderful new moon in Cancer, happy summer winter solstice, whatever you're just experiencing or experience now by the time you're watching this. And I'll speak to you again soon. Much love everyone, and bye for now.